we were not expecting this one to blow us away, but it sure did.
Surprise, surprise.
That's weird.
This is the Martin CEO-11. It's built with European spruce and white oak, two woods that you don't normally see paired together on a Martin guitar.
That's right. We're going to check it out here, unbox it, let you know the specs, and also let you hear exactly what it sounds like. Day after day for 30 years, the same routine. The special needs he lives.
So the CEO series, John, from Martin, is where they tend to experiment just a little bit and go out on a limb. They try different tone woods, some bold aesthetics, as you can see here.
That's
and,
pretty bold.
This CEO-11 that came out this year definitely follows that pattern.
That's right. From the body shape to the materials and even the inlays, there is a lot to talk about with this guitar.
If you guys are wanting to see more details and hear this exact guitar in person, it's available right now on our website, and it's backed by our Dreadnought 1-year guarantee, where you're sure that you're going to get the right guitar for you.
Well, John, let's break down the full specs of the CEO-11. It is an M body shape with 14 fret or quadruple O. It's replacing the M36, actually, that's been discontinued this year. Does have an FSC, a certified European spruce top with figured white oak back inside in the three-piece manner, so very similar to the M36 except in white oak and wood trim in between there. Does have European flamed maple binding with the gloss finish in this, they're calling it New Horizons Blue Burst. It's beautiful, and I do recommend looking at it in person. If you're seeing it on camera, it is pretty mesmerizing.
They did it very well.
I think it's beautiful. Dovetailed neck joint on this one does have the forward shifted GE scalloped X brace. That's golden era style, matching the new standards
Not General
this year.
Electric.
You are correct, Jeremy. It does have flame maple neck with the low modified low oval and the high performance taper. Does have a satin finish on the neck, unlike the body, which is in gloss. The fretboard and bridge are ebony with a 1 3/4 inch nut width. Does have the GE modern belly bridge with drop-in saddle.
I have a modern belly
me too.
myself.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Compensated bone nut and saddle. Fishman Aura VT pickup system in here. Does have the blend knob. It is now all internal, which I'm a big fan. Big fan. The ebony head plate has a custom logo. It does have their logo in abalone and this beautiful inlay. By the way, it also has a beautiful rosette that kind of matches the whole entire theme. I think they did a really good job with all the abalone inlays on this guitar. It does have the nickel open back butterbean tuners that are from Grover, molded hard shell case. The label on this guitar is individually signed and numbered by Thomas Ribsome out of 1111. So 1111, one of, two of. In this case, it is number 44 of 1111.
1111. CEO-11.
That is true, Jared.
Clever.
This guitar was a huge surprise for me. We did this in a live unboxing, and I saw it at the NAMM show. We got to play it a little bit. Everything this year at the NAMM show was impossible to tell what it sounded like or what it played with. It was dried out. It was dried out. It was loud. There was nothing that was able to kind of be told this year. So getting to have it in the shop was a huge surprise. I found that I loved the unique tone immediately.
At the NAMM show, the blue top really stood out. I know it seems pretty bold, but when you see it up close, they do a really good job of it. The burst is beautiful. So I normally wouldn't consider myself a blue top guitar guy, but I guess it's kind of cool to get into some of the electric guys, get the fun with cool finish colors. To do it in acoustic guitars and do it well, I think is really nice.
I agree with you. I think they did a really, really good job with this particular one. What I think is really, really cool is this year they did discontinue the M36. A lot of people love that guitar, and it's just kind of weird because it's really the only mainstay M-body guitar that they had. And I do think it's neat that they put this in its place because it's a cool pairing. You have, with the M-body, you have a narrower depth, closer to the triple O depth, but you have this bigger, almost dreadnought lower bout. And it's comfortable, easy to play, but the white oak in that body shape paired with the European spruce top makes for a big low end. It's not bold, it's not overbearing, but the mids, low mids especially, come through not boomy. And and yet rounded out on the top end. I think this is going to be really unique for strummers. And also, I think a really unique kind of finger picking, because it's got big low end compared to a lot, yet super balanced tone.
Yeah, I was playing on it a little bit before we did this little review here, and I was very impressed with even just doing some single note stuff. May not look like a fast note, but I was playing some, little jazz runs on it. It's very clear and articulate, and very comfortable for me. Obviously, I like that smaller body size.
What's really cool is, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but when you play really light on it, it has the same tonal characteristics lighter than, a lot of guitars, when you give them more, they gotta give you a little bit more depth and fullness to character. But it's almost like there's a compressor on the top. When I hit it hard, it's just louder version of.
I'm sure that has something to do with that pairing of that white oak on it.
It's definitely a very cool pairing. I really, really find this to be a fantastic and fun guitar to play.
John, where would you rate this one tone-wise?
Tone-wise, like I said, I find this to be really, really unique. I love that there's something different that sounds different, feels different, yet is not weird. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of times when you get something weird, you're just like, or something new, and different. It's like, that's weird. That doesn't feel the way I think a guitar. This is unique and different, yet feels like pleasantly homey. It feels like naturally like, I really dig this. I gotta say, I love the sound of this guitar. And I don't know if it's just this one or not, but I really love it. So I'm going all the way. I love the tone. It's a 5 for me.
I was having fun playing on this for about 30 minutes before we started, and I was really impressed with the tone. I'm going to give it a 4.8 just to be different.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Setup and playability. I personally loving the way Martin is setting up their Guitarist Factory now. I know they are plecked, but it's also a setup that works really well for myself, who plays a little bit heavier, but yet it's not so high that it feels like it's super,
difficult.
Yeah, difficult to play. It's just an overall great playing guitar. I'm going to give it a 4.8.
Well, see, there's where I'm going to switch with you, John. I'm going to give it a 5 because I think setup-wise, they've been doing a great job. It plays up and down the neck. We didn't have to do any real adjustments to it. Just a really easy playing guitar. Sounds great, so I'm going to give it a 5.
Build quality, it's a gorgeous guitar. This was meant to be an elite piece right here. I don't see anything that I would probably change. I love the rosette. I love how it pairs with the inlays. I love that they use all of the blue colors and that.
Sounds like you're getting into aesthetics here, John. We're rating it on build quality. We'll get to aesthetics next.
Thank you for straightening me out, Jeremy.
How well is it built, John?
It's built great, Jer. I'm going to give it a 4.7.
Yeah, I think they're doing a great job building this, and like I said, they use some of the GE bracing on it now. I know, I'm helping you out. Doing a great job on them. Martin's known for building a lot of guitars, but still the quality is way up there. So I'm going to say build quality 4.8 as well.
All right, as far as the aesthetics, the inside of this guitar, I don't see any glue marks, any, is that backwards from what you want to do?
You're doing build quality now, John.
Anyway, I'm really impressed with what they had come up with here. This was one of those guitars, with the new CEO coming in. I mean, we know what Martin has been, and Chris Martin is the CEO, and he's kind of been able to do this, making things that were and when he said, this new guy's coming in, he's going to do a blue guitar, I was like, it'll be, I ordered one, it'll be something. I am actually very, very impressed with it. I find that the burst on it is beautiful. I love the inlays. I love how they just made everything mate all the way across. Even using the maple neck to go into this, the stain they used on that maple really does kind of pair well, especially having the white maple for binding.
Yeah, that white maple paired with that white oak on there, and the dark stripes that are in that white oak just really stand out as something different. It looks
they're bold.
They're very bold, very different, but I think it works together really well to make a unique guitar. The top had to be a risky thing, but it shows you that their finished guys really are skilled to do that burst and make it look not cheesy or fake looking, but just really attractive. Yeah, really attractive.
All right, for my looks score,
aesthetics,
I'm going to give it a 4.8.
I was really impressed with it. I'm going to give it a 4.9.
There you go. I love it. We saw that this is an FSC certified top. They are working with white oak, which is also very sustainable. So we do pass this with our Acoustic Shoppe sustainable vibe check here. We're going to definitely give it a check mark for that.
And we will plant one. We should plant an oak tree for every one of those we sell.
All right, we should do that. For its overall value, this guitar comes in at $69.99, a little bit pricier, but it is a limited edition guitar. There's always a premium to be paid for any individual.
And only CEOs are allowed to purchase it, which
That's not
they normally
true.
have a lot more money.
That is not true, Jer.
Me being the CEO of the company.
We've already sold this guitar and another one following behind it.
Did you confirm the CEO status of
I
it?
did not do that, so I know that you do not have to be a CEO
I am misinformed.
in order to pay this. At $69.99, I actually find this to be a fairly decent value. It's not crazy. I mean, I would love to see it a little bit different, but it is a special edition, individually signed, will come to its limit at some point here. So I'm going to give it a 4.7 in its overall value.
I know the guitar world's different than the mandolin world. We had, a limited edition Gibson comes in at $20,000, signed and dated by the luthiers there. So this one coming in at $69.99, I think seems a little bit more reasonable.
Totally easy
for a limited edition signed by the CEO of Martin and numbered, out of 1,111 guitars. I think it is actually priced pretty well, so I'm going to give it a 4.9.
I think what makes this super unique in this case is usually these types of guitars are collector type pieces, but with this pairing and the sound that it is coming out, I find this to actually be a player guitar. And I think that's what makes this guitar different than a lot of the individual signed and numbered guitars we have seen in the past.
So John, if this isn't specifically for CEOs, who would this guitar be for, in your opinion? What players would be looking for this guitar?
We discussed it earlier. It is a collector type piece, but I think it's way more than that. I think there is a mid warmth. It is not a guitar to be in your face, but if you just want warm, natural, I'm sitting by the fire and singing songs and writing songs and inspirational type of guitar, that's who I think this is for.
Yeah, I think you hit on it right there. Inspirational is something that you're going to pick up and just really be inspired by the look, the build of it, and the tone.
It really works well for a lot of various different things. It's definitely not a bluegrass picker or something where if you're looking for individual notes to stand out and have its own character, not quite as great for that. But if you're wanting something that's just smooth and mellow all the way across, that's the kind of stuff that would hit here. So that works in so many different styles of music. I'm really glad to see this particular guitar come back into view because with the M36 out of the mix, there were a lot of people that were very, very bummed. But I actually think that this is going to be hard because it does come in at a much more premium price tag. But for those, but for those who want something in that M shape and sound, there's a whole nother texture to the sound of this guitar, and I think there's a great value there. So yes, it kind of hints at the M36 a little bit, but because of the fact that it is such different tonal pairing, it's like that,
close but different,
in a totally new way. It's like it's introduced into the wild here. So I'm pretty excited about this guitar. that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The CEO-11 from Martin, a really, really unique and special guitar. If you liked this review, please check out this other video we did where I got to play every single Martin we had in stock at one time, right next to each other. It was a lot of guitars, and it was a lot of fun to play. So click this little graphic right here, and you can check that out. And as always, please like and subscribe. It helps out the channel, and we will be back for more great Martin and other acoustic instrument videos. So stick around, and we'll see you next time.